and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bridget, a UK registered nurse. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your loyalty. If you've been watching my videos and haven't subscribed, you may consider subscribing, okay? It will help you to keep up to date with the information I share on the channel. In this video, I'll be hosting a guest who used to practice as a registered general nurse in her home country, but is currently practicing as a mental health nurse or registered as a mental health nurse here in the UK. She's going to tell us the details, how it was possible for her to do all these, and also for you to learn from it to consider if you can register other fields aside adult nursing. Kindly stay tuned and enjoy this video.
So I was a registered general nurse in Ghana, but here in the UK, I'm a registered mental health nurse. So my experience has been from practicing as an enrolled nurse and then moving to a diploma nurse and then traveling to the UK to be a registered mental health nurse. It was a bit challenging because of lack of information. I didn't have the information. I had gone for mental health from the beginning. It would have been just easier for me.
So we have our guest here with us. Her name is Olive, but I'll leave her to introduce herself. Olive, you are welcome to our channel. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So my name is Olive Monyo, and I'm a Ghanaian. I was a registered general nurse in Ghana, and then I moved to the UK, and I'm currently registered as a mental health nurse.
Right, that's interesting to note. So can you tell us your experience back in Ghana?
Yes, so back in Ghana, I think my career journey has been a bit lengthy. To say, I started as an enrolled nurse, and that was in 2012. And then I worked for some years, went back to school in 2018 to acquire a diploma in general nursing. And then I worked also for some years and then went back to University of Ghana to have a degree. But unfortunately, I had to relocate to the UK.
Oh, interesting one. So if I understand you clearly, you were a registered general nurse back in Ghana, but you were able to register as a mental health nurse with the NMCUK.
Perfectly, yes.
Can you tell us more about how you went about the registration?
So usually when you're applying to be a nurse in the UK, you have to provide an evidence that you are practicing as a nurse in your home country, and you would also be verified from your home country NMC. So I had to use my diploma general nursing to apply for the UK nursing. However, during my application, when I started the application, I applied as an adult nurse because I didn't know I could use my general nursing certificate to be a mental health nurse in the UK. So I applied as an adult nurse, did my CBT adult nursing, and after that, I realized I couldn't practice as a adult nurse even though I had a certificate.
So in all, did you say that the registration process was challenging for you because you were a registered general nurse?
I wouldn't say it was too much challenging, even though it was a bit challenging. It was a bit challenging because of lack of information. I didn't have the information. I didn't know you could practice as a mental health nurse with your general nursing certificate. So if I had had that information, it would have been easier because it was easy with the registration, writing of the CBT and all that.
Holly, we want to thank you so much for the information you've shared with us so far. We are really grateful. But we still want to know more, okay? So
okay, that's fine.
I'm assuming you wrote the CBT for mental health and then OSCE as well. How was it?
Yes. Yes, I did write the CBT for mental health and I did OSCE mental health. So for the CBT, usually when you register with the NMC, they give you some resources to practice. So I practiced, I went online, read about their nursing, mental health nursing. I read a lot about their 6Cs and all that, their NMC and everything. And then I went for the CBT. It was quite easy for me though. So I passed, and then from there, I started looking for a job. I tried several jobs, and I think for the adults, when I did the adult nursing, I did 2 interviews for adult nursing, and it didn't come out well. So at a point, I felt like, no, I couldn't go for this adult thing. I didn't have much experience in adult nursing, or let's say general nursing. I worked my entire life in mental health facility, and then I decided to go for the mental health. So I reached out to the NMC UK via their email that I'd like to switch my application to mental health nursing. So they got back to me, I think after 10 days, and I was told I would have to cancel the entire application I had started and do a fresh application. So I told them I'll go ahead with it, and then they had to cancel the first application, which was for the adult nursing, and then I restarted everything. So I went back to NMC Ghana for another verification. So I had to go back to them. I also contacted them via their email, and they actually replied. So they got back to me, and they said they were going to give them another verification. And so they gave them that, and then finally I'm here.
Wow, that's determination,
Yes, you don't give up.
Well done.
So for the mental health one, it was just one touch and then I passed.
Wow.
So it wasn't, if I had gone for mental health from the beginning, it would have been just easier for me. But because I went through the other way, looking for adults nursing, I found it a bit challenging.
And how was the OSCE as well? What are some of the things people who want to register now can expect in the OSCE?
Okay, so I think I met you during our OSCE sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was where I met you. Luckily enough, we had very supportive practice educators and tutors. So at the beginning, we were a bit nervous about what to expect. But when they start the process with you, going through all the procedures and encouraging us to go through the policies, I think it became a bit easier for us. So it's all about practice. They teach you, you go back, read, practice with your friends, and then you become perfect at it.
I remember when we used to practice with pillows and pans in our rooms.
I know, right? Yeah, so you just practice. Practice. That's all I can say. So for the OSCE, you will have tutors and then practice educators to support you, but it's left up to you to also pull your strength up and then be able to go through it. And it's all about confidence as well. I think you need to be confident as well. Yeah,
that's true.
So for mental health, you have 10 stations. We have the API, which is 4-in-1. So that's the assessment, planning, implementation, and evaluation. So you'll be given a patient to assess. And then after the assessment, whatever problems you're able to gather, you plan the care with the patient. And then you implement. Usually the implementation stage is administration of medication and then evaluation. Evaluation is kind of handing over your care to the next staff or the next shift. So usually they have this S-bar, which is situation, background, assessment, and then recommendation. So that's what they usually use for that. And then we have professional values, which is also another station. So you have 5 items or 5 situations to read around. It's usually a written station. So you read around it and then you'll be given one of that. And then evidence-based is also 5 situations where you also read around. It's also a written station, and then you'll be given one of those situations to write about. So we have 6 now, and then you have other 4 skills that you'll be assessed on as well. Okay, so the first one is de-escalation, where you'll be expected to de-escalate or calm down an aggressive or an agitated patient, usually using the distraction technique, approaching patients calmly, talking to patients in a calm, low tone voice. Usually when you're using the distraction technique, you base it on what the patient likes. And then the second one would be reminiscence. Reminiscence has to do with trying to trigger the patient's memory. Basically, it's about the senses. So the sense of smell, the sense of sound. Okay, so we move on to the next one, which is physical ops. So physical ops basically is checking vital signs. So you monitor the patient's vital signs, record it accurately. So that's it.
Wow.
And the other one will be talking therapy. So we have various talking therapies here in the UK. Some of them could be CBT, psychotherapy, relationship therapy, and all that. The other one would be mask assessment. We also have administration of suppository.
Wow, this is a whole OSCE lesson. We are done with
Yes. Yes.
Thank
yes.
you for
OSCE
sharing that
lessons.
information.
if you want further details, I think there are other YouTube channels. So,
Yeah, like Violet Okolache's channel. You'll get
yes.
all the stations. My
Okay.
last question is, why did you leave Scotland? Because I know when you arrived in UK, you were living in Scotland. Why didn't you look for a job in Scotland and decided to move to England? What motivated you?
Okay. So the reason why I left Scotland was because the time I was looking for sponsorship, Scotland was not offering sponsorship. I tried most of the organizations, but I couldn't get sponsorship. I usually contact them, find out if they are given before I make the attempt to apply. So I tried most of them. I think I read from some websites that Scotland was not giving sponsorship at that time. So I had to look to England, where on my first attempt I got sponsorship. That was the main reason why I left Scotland. But I moved to England alone for some time, and then my family joined later. And I think the cost of living in Scotland is cheaper as compared to England. Aside that, England is a bit warmer than Scotland. Scotland is extremely cold.
So, have you got anything else to tell my audience?
Well, if you have the opportunity to come to the UK to practice as a nurse, I would advise that you come because it helps you to develop in your field of work. It's kind of a growth for you. So I would advise that if you have the opportunity, go for it. Don't give up on it because I've gained a lot of confidence. I've gained a lot of knowledge since I started practicing as a mental health nurse here.
And besides this, you've opened our eyes to something, At least now we are all not going to register as adult nursing. With our qualification and experience, we can look at other options. So, as you heard from Olive, NMC actually allows you to register in any field of nursing. The fields of nursing NMC has on their website are learning disabilities, adult nursing, mental health nursing, and pediatric nursing. You can register in any of these fields of nursing. All right, Olive. Thank you so much, darling. In fact, I'm more than happy to have this interview with you. All right,
Okay.
Okay, so we'll see you
Okay.
again very soon. All right.
Okay. Thank you for
Bye.
having
Take
me.
care.
Bye.